The Birth of Wall Street, 1792, the street that built capitalism. In the late 18th century, New York City was a noisy harbor filled with merchants, sailors, and dreamers. Ships from Europe and the Caribbean docked by the shore, unloading cargo, gold, and rumors of fortune. But beneath this energy there was chaos. No regulated markets, no central exchange, only handshakes and handwritten promises. It was a market built on trust, or the illusion of it. On May 17th, 1792, 24 men gathered beneath a large buttonwood tree on Wall Street. They signed a simple document, just 2 sentences long, the Buttonwood Agreement. They pledged to trade only among themselves and to set fixed commissions, creating order out of chaos. That tree would become the birthplace of modern capitalism. The young United States was drowning in debt after the Revolution. The government owed millions to soldiers, farmers, and lenders. Bonds were nearly worthless, and confidence was collapsing. Then came Alexander Hamilton, a man with a vision. He saw debt not as a burden, but as a foundation. If Americans trusted the government's promise to pay, they would trust the nation itself. Debt became the backbone of America's new economy, a revolution funded by belief. Hamilton's plan was radical for its time. He consolidated state debts, founded a national bank, and created a stable currency built on credit and confidence. His rivals called it dangerous, a system for the elite. But his allies knew better. Wall Street became the testing ground for his experiment, where trust itself became currency. The first stocks were humble: banks, shipping companies, insurance firms, the Bank of New York, the first bank of the United States. Each trade represented more than profit. It was belief in a new nation's future. From parchment and ink, the machinery of global finance began to turn. The early brokers weren't polished bankers in suits. They were loud, ambitious, reckless, trading in taverns, coffee houses, and even on the streets. But their instinct and hunger for risk turned trade into an art form. Wall Street wasn't just a location, it was an attitude: risk, reward, and relentless ambition. By 1817, these meetings evolved into the New York Stock and Exchange Board. Trading moved from taverns to a rented room at 40 Wall Street. Rules were written, seats were sold, and structure replaced chaos. It was the birth of the New York Stock Exchange, the institution that would one day define global capitalism. As the 19th century rolled on, America industrialized. Railroads, steel, and banking empires rose. Speculation became a national obsession. Fortunes were made overnight and lost by morning. Wall Street became the beating heart of American ambition, a place where ordinary men dreamed of extraordinary wealth. But every boom has a reckoning. In 1837, speculation and reckless credit sparked the first great crash. Banks failed, unemployment soared, and those same brokers who once toasted success were now ruined. It was the first hard lesson of capitalism: growth demands risk, and risk demands pain. From each collapse came reinvention. By the late 1800s, Wall Street was rebuilt, stronger, grander. Wooden offices gave way to marble halls. In 1903, the New York Stock Exchange building opened, a temple to money itself. Columns, chandeliers, endless noise. It wasn't just a street anymore. It was a symbol. As America's industries grew, so did Wall Street's reach. It financed wars, built railroads, and shaped the modern corporation. But power came with a price. For every millionaire, thousands struggled to survive. Wall Street became both hero and villain, a reflection of freedom and greed. By the 20th century, Wall Street was no longer just New York. It became the heartbeat of the global economy. Every stock, every bond, every trade echoed across oceans. From London to Tokyo, the world watched a single ticker, the one born under a tree in 1792. The Buttonwood tree is gone now, but its roots remain, not in soil, but in the systems that run our world. Every time a stock changes hands, every digital trade, every fortune made or lost traces back to that day in 1792. Under the shade of a tree, 24 men built more than a market. They built capitalism. Wall Street began as a promise of trust, of progress, of opportunity. Through crashes and revolutions, through wars and recoveries, it has remained what it always was, the street that built capitalism and the mirror that reflects its soul.